What up? How are we doing? What up, Jazzy? Damn, stream. Yeah, too slow. Gotta do better than that. Wait. Yeah, so that's auto. Nah. That's not bad. Need some more light over here, though. Wait, what if we go back to... Nah. I don't... It lights up the room too much. Got sick all week, so I missed school. Oh, damn. Not ideal. Let's see. Alright, nice. We'll go there. Yeah, cool. Alright. We good. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to plug in this camera, hey. It's been a while since I streamed. I think it's only been a week, I think. I think I streamed last Saturday. Didn't stream on Wednesday. I was gonna stream on Wednesday. Just fell asleep. Anywho, cameras, am I right? Yeah, exactly. I do have a couple things I want to talk about, but I'm gonna plug in the other camera first. So, let's go a bit wider so you can maybe... No, well, I have to get under the desk to get the HDMI cord. See, this will be easier. You know what is nice about having quick disconnects on your cameras, and now that I have everything, like both the spots that you can see it right here, quick disconnect, and then I've got one where I put this camera, so I could just leave a plate on this at all times, and it also fits on my tripod, so it's just perfect. That's the wrong thing. What am I doing? Upgrades, people, upgrades. iPhone is the same phone, but the camera is slightly higher. What? I mean, you're not wrong. You're not 100% right, but you're not wrong. I need to check what settings these are on. What setting are we on? No. Where are we? I'm gonna get that one. And we want to go manual focus. Because, okay, so this is actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. Is that good? You go higher. So, I just set up. Can we see it? Is it there? Oh, it's pretty dark, but I just set up, plugged in that camera. And I literally just had this thought, like, a number of minutes ago, just before the stream. And like, because, okay, so I'll start from start. I'll try and stay not, I'm not going to try and cut myself off. So, that's all. Let me just focus this real quick. Why is that so hard to see? Hold on. Hello? What up, Ruben? Oh yeah, you might want to hear this. So just before this stream, I was thinking, and stop. Okay, we're gonna go back to the other camera. I was thinking, and this camera, right? This is my first camera, and I've said before, maybe it was actually, I think it might have been you actually, Ruben. Somebody asked me about the ZVE10. ZVE10. ZVE10 just feels better. I don't know, it just sounds like right. Anyway, I was asked about the ZVE10, and I've said before that I kind of wish that I got that instead of the Lumix. And I was just thinking, they're roughly the same price. I could probably sell this camera with everything that I've got for it, you know, spare battery, dummy battery, the extra lens, and get enough to buy a ZV-E10. So then my second camera would not only take the same lenses as my main camera, but also would have way better autofocus, because I don't use the autofocus on this camera most of the time because it's just not very good. But if I had, you know, a Sony camera, even if it is, you know, a $1,000 camera instead of a $3,000 camera, it's still better than this one in most things. So I was just thinking about it. I just looked up prices and stuff too, and in Australian dollars I could get a ZV-E10 for 1,100. I reckon I could probably sell this for 1,500, if not more, maybe. Probably not, because I have used it for like a year almost. So yeah, I could probably get more money for this camera and everything that I have for it than it would cost to buy a ZV-E10. So I could get a ZV-E10 and then either just use this lens on it, which would be fine. It's a 20mm, so it would be it'd be roughly a 30mm. It'd actually be exactly that difference. Right? So this is full frame, and this is what the ZV-E10 would look like. So like this would be fine for my like stream camera, and you know, at the 1.8 too, it would be way better, and it would have good autofocus. Like you said, Sony autofocus is great. It is. I've said this before. Sony autofocus is great, and until recently, Panasonic autofocus has been not great. Now with the S5 Mark II, they finally introduced phase detect autofocus instead of contrast-based autofocus, or whatever it is. So now Panasonic finally has good autofocus in their newest camera, but not any of their old ones. So this one, like, definitely not going to get an update or anything like that. So I was just thinking, like, could I get a ZV-E10 and maybe a lens for a similar price that I could sell this camera for? And then basically it would upgrade my second camera whenever I have a second camera. They would match better. The lenses would all work, so that means I can use, even when I get new, better lenses, even if I get a fancy G-Master lens, I can still use it on my second camera instead of being stuck with just the two lenses I have on here, because I don't want to buy any more. Because I don't want to spend any more money on this camera. Like, I don't want to buy new lenses for it. I would rather replace it and then stay within the same system. So I've literally just been thinking about this for like the last 15 minutes. But like I even was looking at prices and stuff, and oh, where are we? Let's go. Let's bring them over here. Got the Sony ZV-E10 for $1,000 on George's. Yeah, so like Ted's cameras has it for $1099.95. George's is actually cheaper, I think, most of the time. I haven't got anything from George's cameras before though. I've got from Ted's and DigiDirect, but have not been. Oh, that's DigiDirect, okay. DigiDirect has the FX30 for $2,700 though. Because, okay, so this is another thing. If I was like, decide, okay, I'm just gonna get a second camera to be a B camera and my stream camera that is better than this. So I wouldn't want to spend too much more money, but I could sell this and then with that money buy a better second camera. All I would have to do was double the amount I spent and I could get an FX30, which would still be APS-C, but it has all the professional features that the FX30 has. So like, but then I've also thought, like, why get an FX30 if you could just get an FX3? But obviously there's like the price difference. The FX30 is like half the price. And now I'm just like thinking a lot. But listen, I want to see how much the ZV-E10 is at George's. But I was also having a look at lenses, and there's the classic, like everybody has it, the 16mm Sigma 1.4 is $700. However, is there much of a point in getting that if I already have a 20mm 1.8? So, I was thinking like a I want like a roughly a 35mm look. So a bit more zoomed in than this. It'd actually be more like probably that or that. Maybe this would be roughly like, well, hold on, what's 30 times 1.2? That'd be 36. So this would be like 36mm. Right, so this is sort of what the look would be like. Is that, hello? Autofocus? Yeah. So this would be roughly 36. So this is the sort of look that I'm going for what I want for my stream, but I've always been on a 50mm equivalent. But I think if investing is more expensive, cameras are good. Investing in more expensive cameras are good. Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. Of course, I want to get like, you know, an FX6 and stuff, which is like $9,000, but I'm not going to get one of them anytime soon. Honestly, by the time that I could afford one or warrant buying one, because I'm making enough money with this or something like that, they'd probably come out with an upgraded version anyway, or like new better ones, because that'll probably be a while. So, but yes, I agree with you, like definitely investing more is better, particularly lenses, and that's one of the reasons why not going to get any lenses for this camera, but why I would consider getting an APS-C Sony camera, because they all use the same E-mount. Like all my full frame lenses will work on that camera, and that's why I'm like hesitant that if I did get a ZV-10 or any crop sensor camera, I feel like I may as well just get full frame lenses still, so I can use them on any camera, and then they would just work on the crop sensors. Whereas if I get E-mount, not full frame camera lenses, then they can work on this camera, but I have to be in crop mode. I literally could not go in full frame, so then it would be basically like I have two APS-C cameras. So I don't know about that. So ideally, like a 24mm-ish would be good, but I'm not going to get a 24mm G Master because it's so close to a 20mm that it's like I may as well just use the 20mm. And yeah, and then like there's the new, they have like newer, relatively new, they came out like last year, I think, some they came out with some APS-C lenses. They got an 11mm 1.8, a 15mm 1.4, and then a 10 to 20mm f4. The 11's $800. The 15 is $1,100, and then the 10 to 20 is also $1,100. But I don't think I'd really want to get a 10 to 20, because that's like a 16 to 35 ish. Oh, it'd be like a 15 to 30 or 16 to 30 f4. So I don't, and especially on a crop sensor, then it's like, every millimeter counts. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The other thing I wanted to talk about too is this new 50mm 1.4 G Master that just came out. I decided a few months ago that like the next lens I want to get is the 50mm 1.2. But then they just came out with this 50mm 1.4, which is smaller, lighter, and a 1.4. And it's like, do I need 1.2? No. However, it's 1.2, so I don't know. When I can afford it, I'll obviously have made up my mind more. But then I've also like been thinking a lot of, I don't want to get cinema lenses, but then I don't want to get cinema lenses like, because they're all manual focus. I don't want to get all these manual focus lenses before I have enough good autofocus lenses, because I like for stuff like this, for like talking head stuff, I can't manual focus this, because if I move, it needs to stay in focus, unlike on this camera. If I move, I get all blurry if I go back or forward. So it kind of has to, I don't want to just go and get cinema lenses until I've got at least probably at least either a 50mm autofocus lens, or like just a zoom that I can, like a standard zoom 24 to 70 type thing. Wait, do you do another job? Yep. Do I do another job? This isn't even my job. I don't make any money from this. The only money I have made from this is from donations, like, which has only happened a couple times. So yes, I do have a regular job. I do want to eventually turn this somehow into a job. Whether like obviously I'm working towards getting partnered on YouTube, which is, so I need to hit 1,000 subs for that. So I'm working on growing and getting there, so then I can start making money on YouTube, but that's not going to be much. But then I also am thinking in the near future to try and, well, at the moment really, I'm trying to get some more experience and practice and get good at videography and photography, so then I could potentially start doing that for work as well. Although I kind of do a little bit of that for work, but that's sort of like a side thing at work, because I just do the social media for the company, well, like part of it. So I take a lot of photos and videos at work, but it's different. It's very different. But yes. So yeah, every time I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get this lens, the 50mm 1.2. And then I'm like, oh, but do I want a 24-70? Or do I want to get that 35 to 150 that I wanted to get ages ago, the Tamron one? That was like, I was set. I was going to get the Tamron 35 to 150, f2 to 2.8. That was the lens I was going to get. And then I ended up realizing that I could get the camera and this lens, because this was going to be my second lens anyway. I could get this, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just save up for another couple months and get the Tamron. And then I kind of like stopped wanting it as much, I guess. I don't know why. But yeah, and then I ended up getting the 85. And the main reason I got this, and I'm pretty sure I explained it in the video I did about this lens, is I got this one because it was like, this is one of their cheaper, older full frame lenses. So it's like 5-6 years old. But it was only it was on special. It was on like their like end of year special, so it was like $100 off or something. It was like $600 and something. So it was like, I can afford this now, and then this will last me until I can afford the next good lens that I want to get, which at the time, and kind of still is the 51.2, but then it's like the 51.4 is $400 cheaper, but then is that enough? Like, is $400 worth that downgrade, and then is it much of a downgrade? I don't know. What's your best zoom lens? I don't have any zoom lenses for Sony's at all. These are the only two lenses I've got. But that's why I really want more lenses, because I only have these two. I've got an 85 and a 20. That's it. I do have one zoom lens. For the Lumix. So this is a 12 to 60 for this camera. And this is just a kit lens for this camera. So I use it if I am using this camera not like locked off on a tripod. I've been, like, the last couple of videos actually have been filmed on this camera with this lens, because I've bing using my main camera as, you know, the camera I'm shooting on, and then this is like the behind the scenes sort of one. So I use this because 12mm, I'm great at dropping and catching lenses. Oh. Hey, at least it's like, not only did I not drop it, it's also way, way cheaper than the one that I almost dropped filming the other video. Oh, good old dropping lenses. Good time. Yeah. But yeah, I don't have a zoom lens for this camera. So it's like, I want a zoom lens, but I also think I prefer primes just in general. So I think I want to get just like a decent, like at least a half decent, really I want to get a 20, which I have a 20 and 85. I just want to get a 50, which is in the middle. And then maybe like a 70-200. And I think that would be pretty much, I'd be like set for most things, like with those 4 lenses. Although then at that point I'd be like, oh, now I've got to start getting cinema lenses, like anamorphics and all that stuff, and really getting into manual focus and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother thing. But then again, particularly at work, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had a zoom lens. Like, even like a 24-70 or a 24-105 or something like that. So I've also heavily considered the 24-105 f4 as my next lens, because that's a very versatile lens. 24 to 105 is a solid range. So, thought about that as well. But I don't know, like, there's so many things, and they're all so expensive. I would spend all my spending money on photography equipment, but I think I should spend money on other stuff. Yeah. Yes, I get that. I agree. I wanted, like, I have money in savings that'd be like, oh, I can just buy a few lenses, maybe another camera body, but then I'll have no money. But yeah, I fully understand. I get what you mean. I'm very similar. When I was saving for this camera, like, I decided that I was gonna save for my next camera, like, what would it would have been, because I got my first camera almost a year ago, probably about 11 months ago, and then a couple months after that, I decided that I was gonna save for my next one, which was this one, and I started saving, like, every spare dollar I had. Like, if I was like, oh, I can afford to put another couple hundred in savings or something like that, I'd just be like, alright, chuck it in that account and just save. You want to buy some wireless earbuds? Nice. I actually do have something to say about. I don't know why I'm pointing over there. The camera's over here. So I have, speaking of wireless earbuds, I have the LG tone-free FP9s, which are like their, I think they've come out with new ones since, but they're like they were like the top tier of that series. And they're good, but I have some issues with them, so I don't know if I would recommend them. Yeah, if you want to hear my opinions on that, let me know. But yeah, I have those ones, and I don't know if I'd recommend. I do like wireless AirPods. AirPods are too expensive, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, most, like, any decent wireless earbud is going to be expensive. So you're either going to get cheap, crappy ones, or you're going to get good ones, but you have to pay a lot for. So, but that's with most things. What do we think? More of the computer in, or like more of the background in? I like having the light in the corner. Right there, you can just see it. You're going to buy some JBL ones. Yeah, okay. JBL's sort of like it's one of those brands that they have a lot of range. Like, they have cheap ones, but they also have decent ones, I think. Can't say I've used any of them, but fair enough. I've used JBL speakers before, but not much else. But yeah, fair enough. I really like the versatility of wireless earbuds, because these, like, the pair that I've got now, I got them last year, and like early-ish last year, like maybe early second quarter last year, and they're pretty good. Like, I like being able to just not have a wire running, into my pocket, sort of thing, because I would always just have wired earphones if I'm like out, like walking to uni or something like that, or like what I used to wear to the gym is like on-ear headphones, like wireless headphones, which were good, but they would always like slip off and stuff if I like tilt my head down, sort of thing, and they weren't the best. But that sort of brings up an issue with the ones I've got, like the wireless earbuds, is if I smile, if I'm eating, or if I like make a face like if I'm at the gym and I'm like pushing hard and I do something like weird with my face, it'll like squeeze my ear just in a certain way that it like slides out a bit, and they can even fall out. So I can't like properly eat, laugh, or like make much facial expressions with them in without them moving or falling out. So that's sort of one of my main issues with it. It's had other issues with connectivity, and right now it's also like the left one just isn't as loud as the right one. Don't know why. It's like, so it feels like instead of the music being like here, it's just here. It's really annoying. Love the lighting setup. Nice, thank you. I think I prefer it like it definitely helps to have the camera on the opposite side of the light, because normally we have this setup. Wow, I need to focus further away. So normally we'll have the light on the same side as the camera, so then it's like, if I'm looking this way, it's not, like, this is not how you would do it. For like, if you were doing an interview, you would have the camera on the other side, opposite the light. But I can't really have the light on this side, so I kind of have to do this. That's why I set up the other camera on the other side. But ideally, I would have another light behind me back here. This light should be back on that side, but I have no way to mount it over there unless I like got out a whole nother tripod just to put a light there. And then the cable would be running somewhere, and yeah. So it's not really worth it. So I decided I'll just put that one on dim and a bit warm, so it's a different color, and it gives me, you can see it's a bit of a hair light. Give me, like, even if I'm like fully in front of it, you can see there's a bit of an outline on the top of my head if I like right here. You can sort of see it gives me a bit of an outline from the background, so I'm not blending into the background. But yeah, I do like this light. I need to use it more. I haven't used it all that much recently because I haven't been streaming as much. And the last few videos have all been like on location stuff, so I haven't really filmed much in here. So I think tomorrow though, I'm going to film next week's video in here because I don't have plans to go anywhere. So next week's video should be like a in-studio video, if we call this a studio. So I'll actually get to use the whole setup. And I'll film it on the 85 too. I really like the look I've got with an 85, and basically shoot the exact opposite of this shot. So the camera will just be like over in that void over there, and I'll be sitting here but facing the other way. So then you got the computer in the background, but it'll be just enough in front of it that it's a little bit blurry. And I was actually thinking of, because I have my old desk just outside my door there, that it definitely looks better than the. Can you see it? This table right here, you probably can't see it that well, it's pretty dark. Definitely looks way better than that. So I might bring my old desk in here just for filming. So then I can be sitting at a decent looking desk. Although I don't know how it'll look on the 85, because 85 is pretty tight. We'll see. But yeah, definitely something to think about. Like, I'm going way back to the ZV-10 conversation. I'm surprised I hadn't thought about that before. Like, I've thought, oh yeah, when I get my next camera, I could sell this one. But I had never really thought about selling this camera for another camera that is a similar price, so I wouldn't end up actually losing any money. But there would actually be a lot of benefit, so... Or maybe I could see if I could find a second-hand ZV-10 for even less. And then... Yeah, that could be I don't like buying secondhand stuff though. That's probably just me though. I don't know. Oh, should I turn this light on? Hold on, we're gonna see what this looks. I don't know, actually. Nah, we won't turn it on. It'll add a bit more to the background, but I don't think so. Change my mind. Also, I mentioned ages ago that I'd be getting a Rode XCM 50. eBay and Gumtree has amazing discounts on secondhand stuff. True. Yeah, I could have a look. Actually, I wonder if... Let's just have a look. Sony ZV-E10 secondhand. I don't know. Or I could look up on like Facebook Marketplace. Gumtree. There's Gumtree. Ooh, secondhand from George is $900 with the kit lens. Not bad. That's like $400, $500 off. You get $50 for a small rig cage for the ZV-10. ZV-1, I don't want a ZV-1. $770 for the Z. Oh, why are you selling ZV-1? Yeah, all these people selling their ZV-1s. I was like, I don't want a ZV-1. ZV-E10 Black, $799. In Victoria. $1,000 for a ZV-E10 bundle, which is like the handle, the memory card, and it looks like the kit lens. Somebody's selling a ZV-1F, which like only just came out not all that long ago. Also, there's no way it's worth that much. Let's see, how much is the ZV-1F? Is it on here? Also, I'm so surprised how expensive the A6000 series are. Like ZV-10, $1,100, and it's like the next best thing when it comes to, you know, these sorts of cameras. But the A6600 is twice the price. Why? Like, what is the I haven't really looked into it, but I don't think it's like that much better. Because like 4K 30, same, probably even the exact same sensor, 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor, it's probably the same sensor. Steady shot, sure. Probably got the same autofocus. Like, yeah, there's probably tilting, touch sensor, LCD screen, built-in microphone, headphone, yeah. Like, yes, there's probably some features added, but I can't imagine it being anywhere near the value of the ZV-10. $79.99, that's a steal. Where was that again? That was here, wasn't it? Oh yeah, I was looking up the ZV-1F. They don't have it, of course. Why don't they have the ZV-1F? Let's ZV-1F. Let's see how much it is new. What? $800? $800 for the ZV-1F. ZV-E10 and A6400 basically the same. Okay, so the A6600 probably has some additional features that neither of them have. But, like, for twice the price, it does not seem worth it. Like... Oh, it takes the FZ100 batteries. Okay. Interesting. So it takes the same batteries as the A7 IV. So it's a bit bigger, it looks like. That's the full-on... It's got slow and quick mode. 2 custom modes. Has a viewfinder. I don't think the ZV-E10 has a viewfinder. Not that I ever use a viewfinder, but... Because this is more video-centric. Whereas the 6600 and like most cameras still, unless they're like a video first camera, they're photo first. And it's got one of those flip up screens that flips at the top, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, this is the flip out screen. I feel like the flip, I don't know, what would be better? I haven't used the flip up screen before. So this has, okay, let's see what's in the box. Nothing all that exciting. So let's bring up the specs. Ready? Oh no, that was too. Okay. Oh god, I dragged it on front of the screen. All right, let's compare. We'll just go straight specs. Stop. Can I don't just. Oh, fine. All right. So. We'll get them like roughly the same. Alright, so megapixels 24. Yeah, we knew that. Sensor size is the exact same sensor. So yeah, it's probably the same sensor, I would imagine. ISO sensitivity is the same. Image stabilization, censorship. So this has actual IBIS. So that's probably one of the big ones, is this has IBIS. This has just electronic digital stabilization, doesn't have actual, where the sensor, like stabilization where the sensor itself moves. Because you can actually hear, like actually in both of these, I'm pretty sure, if the camera's off, now don't do this, but if you shake the camera, now it won't happen with your ZV-10, but cameras with IBIS, if you shake it, you can hear it, the sensor moving around. Again, don't do that, but that's the IBIS, whereas the ZV-10 doesn't have that. Same autofocus points, Sony E-mount, obviously, LCD same, max shutter speed same. Built-in flash, no, we don't care about that. Continuous shooting, 11 FPS, same. Timer, same. Same metering, not that that's a huge deal anyway. 4K video resolution, so they can both do 4K 30. SD memory, of course. Headphone out, USB 2. So the ZV-E10 doesn't have... The ZV-E10 doesn't have HDMI. That's interesting. Really? I thought it would have HDMI. Oh, you're not gonna show me the side? Okay, well that might be a... That might be, maybe not then. Because, like, yes, USB, and, like, to be fair, this camera... Oh, we can't, we're not in this camera at the moment. But, wait. this this camera on the second one, hold on, let's make that bigger. Let's just have both cameras on there, why not? So, this camera has... it's currently going into my computer via USB. And it works fine. Whereas this one's going in via HDMI. So, if this one has mini HDMI, this one does not have any HDMI. And it's only USB 2, that's interesting. Why would it only be USB 2? I thought it would be USB 3, at least. I don't know. Anyway. Headphone out, USB, Wi-Fi, microphone. Yep, that's all pretty standard. So, the ZV-10 uses the FW50 batteries, whereas the A6600 uses the FZ100, which is the same as batteries on the the A7 series. Enthusiast beginner. Hold on. Enthusiast / beginner. Semi-professional enthusiast and beginner. The A6600 is a better camera. Why are you putting semi-professional for the ZV-E10 but not the 6600? Sony? That's probably... I don't know if it's Sony. It could be Ted's. I don't know. Yeah, they just put everything here. Not waterproof. Yep, that's fair. Touchscreen Wi-Fi live view. Yeah, okay. So, fair enough. Let's have a look at these A6400 then. A6400. Yeah. Blame Ted. Yeah, probably. No, Ted. The thing is, so the A6400 is a bit more expensive than the ZV-10. Because, oh, it's free though. It's $0. Anyway, let's go. Make me manually scroll with the mouse, not the wheel. Alright. So 24, yeah, that's all the same, that's all the same. That's all the same, built-in flash. Okay, it has built-in flash, whereas this doesn't have, because it's a video-centric camera. Same. Has different metering modes. Spot, multi-pattern, center-weighted, high light bases. So it has average, but not high light bases. Sure. Can do 4K video. This has HDMI. That's so weird that the ZV-E10 doesn't have HDMI. I wonder if that's where all that money, or why it's so cheap, because it doesn't have HDMI. They use the same battery. They're roughly the same size. This is a little bit bigger. Enthusiast beginner, again, not semi-professional. All the same, yada yada, yeah, that's all the same. Interesting. Micro USB, oh gross, but this one has USB-C. Yeah, so this has USB-C cable. This is micro USB, so that sucks. However, this does have HDMI. So you can show, oh, it doesn't have the flip out screen. Doesn't have the flip out screen though. Are you gonna show me I/O? I want to see this HDMI port. Okay, well, they're lying to me. Well then, all right. Okay, so we learned some things. Let's go back to, where are we? This one. So we're learning. Maybe it's not quite a. I thought it was just oh yeah, just do that. That's an idea, but I guess maybe not. Because, well, again, USB is fine, but these modern cameras, they work fine for USB. Interesting that it's only USB 2, but it is USB-C. Pretty sure. And you can charge it by USB-C as well. Just like the, the latest A7 cameras as well. I'm pretty sure for the A1. Gotta go for a shout. Alright, fair enough. We'll catch you later. Alright, that must be the flash then. Wait, if we look at both these from the top. They're very similar. That's got a zoom rocker on the front. Bye bye. They both got a hot shoe, which is probably the multi-interface shoe. This one has a custom button there. Oh, okay, so that one has one there. What's this? Oh, is that the mode switch? Because that's the on-off switch. That would be the mode switch. This has a mode dial. So you would change between photo, video, and S&Q. I imagine you could probably change most of the modes. You could probably change to manual and aperture priority and all that stuff. Interesting. Alright. Does this screen flip out though? I don't know if it does. Maybe it does. Maybe it does the full flip up. It's hard to tell. Oh, well, it was, yeah, okay. 180 flip. Yeah, fair enough. So A6400 is $1,400. ZV-10 is $1,100. Or for the same price for this, same price as this, you could get this with the kit lens. So there's that. And then you could do this by HDMI. There you go. Yeah. Let's sit down real quick. Oh wait, no, we need to go a little bit lower. That way, there we go. That's better. What was this one? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay, so. Oh, now I'm too low. What if we go wider? Now I'm just so far away. It's like, that's not actually what it looks like. So I don't really want to put it on a tripod. Although to be fair, I could just switch to the other camera. Oh, okay. Okay. Was not expecting to talk about all this today because I literally only had the thought just before I started the stream. But definitely things to think about. But then it's like, fine. So let's say, my chair's too high for the desk being this low, and I guess to be fair, when I stream, usually we go here. Go no armrest. Right, let's get rid of that. And then let's go to the Sony professional video cameras. So, although actually DigiDirect has the FX30 pretty cheap right now. Not that I'm going to get it right now. FX30. But then it's like, do I actually want the FX30? Because I really want an FX3 or FX6. But they're also way more expensive. So the FX30 with the handle, the XLR handle, that is it's just under $3,000. Like it's $3,000. So that's the FX30 body, APS-C size sensor, but all the professional features of, the FX30, which came out not all that long ago. plus, you know, the handle, so it comes with a built-in top handle with XLR inputs. So then I could use XLR mics, which would be great, honestly, for filming my main videos. And maybe even for streaming? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about streaming, whether it would work that way or the way that I have it. But yeah, but then it's like this. Okay, so let's say that's $3,000. That's no lenses either, so I would need to use just the 2 lenses that I've got, or buy another lens. So then that would add another minimum $1,000 to $1,500 on, if not more. Unless I got a specific APS-C lens instead of a full frame lens. But then I can't use that in the A7 IV unless I use crop mode. Then it's just I just have 2 APS-C cameras at that point with that lens in particular. So it's not looking as reasonable as I thought to go with the ZV-10. But then it's like, yeah, the FX30, like, yes, I know things look great, and it has all these great features that are cool and work really well and it's very professional. But I don't know, there's just something about full frame that is like, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Full frame just, it's not yeah. It just seems better. Like, it seems like you're missing out if you don't get full frame. Yet, I know so many professional cameras, even cinema cameras, are Super 35, and even some are Micro Four Thirds. So it's like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, there's so many Super 35 cinema cameras. But, I don't know, it's just something about full frame. Even though it's really expensive. So I guess I won't be getting any new cameras soon. So the next thing probably will still be a lens. And yeah, I need to decide what lens I'm gonna get next. Because oh wait, no, we go. So oh, what? Oh, there. Wrong one. So can I put this? I'm trying to think if I can put this camera anywhere else. So I just need to tilt it like that. That's all I just need it to tilt down just a little bit. But I'm not going to hold it here. It just, yeah, it's just a little bit too high. I mean, I could raise my chair up, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, so I got to decide whether I want to get the 50mm 1.2 or the 50mm 1.4 or something else entirely. Or like, would it be more beneficial to get something like a 24-70 or a 24-105? Like a versatile zoom lens that I could use for a lot of things, particularly for like work stuff and photography and stuff like that. Like, would that be more beneficial than getting a really nice looking 50? And I also had a bit of a look today as well at, like, it's like, okay, if I, instead of getting the 50G Master, I get maybe the Sirui 50mm anamorphic. And it's like, oh, got a cool anamorphic cinema lens, but no autofocus. If I want to use that for YouTube videos, I can't use autofocus, so I have to manual focus it, so then I have to manual focus and then sit in the right spot and not move. So that's a big downside, because like manual focus is fine when you're operating a camera. But if unless you're actually operating it and pulling focus, manual focus just doesn't work. Like it just can't. Like, and that was an issue with the video about the cage and my like rig for the A7 IV, because I manual focused it on this lens and I missed. Well, I missed my face. Like all the stuff on the table was in focus, and my face was just a little bit blurry. So honestly, what I should have done is shot it like f4 or like f5.6 or something. But I didn't. I shot at f2, and yeah, I just missed focus. And honestly, probably most people probably didn't even notice. However, I did make a short about it, so the people that saw the short and the video would have probably known. Because I told people. But yeah. Because like even if I do, like if I end up going for something like this, let's say I can get, oh, chair, stop. This chair is way too loud. Squeaks like crazy. Wait, are we at 30? Yeah. What if I put it on the desk? That'd be too low then, I reckon. Let's try. Yeah, that's too low. And what, this is at 20? Yeah. Because I can't really put this anywhere else unless I get a tripod. I can't be bothered to go get a tripod, even though there's one like right there. So I guess for now, this stays up here. And we zoom back in. Or I just switch to this one. Yeah, and if I'm gonna do that, might as well unplug this one. What's it at? Hey, it's still at 100%. Nice. Okay, that's interesting. So this camera, okay, let's have a little rant real quick about this camera. Also need to clean this lens. So if you plug this in with USB, it can not only run, like if you plug it into a computer, it can stream, so you can stream, like that's how I was using it, but then it can also charge. So the idea is like it charges the battery and keeps the battery charged, but you can't charge the battery while it's running. It more doesn't let it drain nearly as fast. So it'll drain, but really, really slowly, or potentially not at all, depending how much power you're using. But yeah, it would just be like really, really slow. However, normally if I plug it in to my USB hub with this long cable that I've got, it usually does drain at a, not like a normal rate, but it still does drain. Like I'll lose however many, maybe a couple dozen % over the course of, if I have it plugged in if I have it streaming for a couple hours, then it will lose battery. Whereas I just then had it plugged in directly to my motherboard on my PC into the USB-C port on the back of my PC, and it's still at 100%. It was going for 50 minutes, which I feel like, and the USB hub is powered. It literally is plugged into a power board. So I don't know why there would be more power coming from my PC through a USB-C port than going into this USB hub that is plugged into the wall, essentially. Seems wrong that even though this USB hub is powered, that it doesn't provide the power to the camera. And I'm pretty sure I noticed the same thing with the GoPro. If I plugged the GoPro in through the hub, it would work, but it wouldn't charge the battery, or something like that. Or like it wouldn't work unless there was a battery in it, because you can use a GoPro plugged directly into a computer with no battery, because it just takes the power from the computer through the USB-C port. But I'm pretty sure it wouldn't work without a battery, or maybe it needed to have a battery to boot up, and then I could take it out, or something like that. Something weird. So I don't know if it's the cord, if it's the USB hub, I don't know what that's about. But good to know now that that cord in particular holds all the charge in the A7 IV while streaming, and it's only a little bit warm. Like, it's definitely warm. Like, you wouldn't want it to be like, the handle's not that warm, but it's getting there. It's a tad. Even the cage is a bit warm. Not nearly as warm as the actual camera itself, though. And I think I might actually switch, while I'm here, I'll switch lenses, because if I film this video tomorrow, I gotta figure out what video I'm gonna film tomorrow too. Have not even planned it at all. Alright, 85 is on. 20mm is off. Is it on APS-C mode still? It is. So one thing. The heck? Why is airplane mode? I didn't turn airplane mode on before. Alright, so one thing with this is, like, if you turn it off and you turn it back on again and don't change any modes at all, it'll keep the same settings that you had. So easy way to do it is just to switch to another mode and then back, and then it resets to the actual settings that you have saved for that mode. So set my ISO back to 125. I didn't really notice what the picture profile was on, but because when you're streaming, it has no picture profile. But yeah, just reset that. Yeah, I gotta figure out what are my ideas actually. What do I have written down? Where's that? There was an update for Notion and it disappeared off my taskbar. Let's pin that and put it about there, maybe? Yeah, let's go with that. No, I don't know, where do I put it? There? Sure. Why not? Main YouTube videos. Alright, so the ideas that I have so far that I haven't done is a review of this light, actually. Not sure if I'm going to do that. A comparison between the G85 and the A7 IV. A full frame versus Micro Four Thirds video, which is a very similar thing, but more focused on the sensor itself. So it would be ideal if I could use, like, if I had similar or equivalent lenses, sort of thing, because I don't. Because even it sucks. Because if I had a 50, if I had a good 50, then I could compare this 25 to the 50 on this, because that's like equivalent focal length for the sensor and everything like that, but I don't have a 50. And I'm not going to rent a lens just for a video, unless it, is worth it. So if the lens can somehow make me money, then it makes sense. Because renting stuff feels like more expensive than it should be. Because most places you just can't rent for short periods of time. You can rent it, like if you rent, like for example from like Heads or something. They do like, what was it? Oh yeah, rent. Or even on here as well. Oh, here, you can even see this. So here, you can rent this FX30, 34, 39 a week. That's not ridiculous, but you have to have it for at least 6 months. So you rent it for the minimum of 6 months. But then like you get to that point and then it's like almost not even worth renting it at that point. Because by the time you've, 6 months is, so let's go, 30, let's say that's 6 months is, let's say it's 26 fortnights, no, 26 weeks, sorry. 26 weeks, 26 times 34.39 is actually that's only so that's a third of the price. If you rent it for 6 months, you're paying a third of the price of almost a third of the price, like just under $900. So you're paying almost a third of the price of the whole thing. Although to be fair, this is probably the rent price is probably based on the regular price, not the special price that it's on right now. So it seems to be about like 1% per week, almost. It's close. Maybe it's like 0.9% or something like that. Does that make sense? 34 is 1% of 3,500. Yeah. So yeah, so if you rent that for 6 months, that's $900. Or so, but then at that point, you rent it for 6 months. Then with a lot of these like renting programs, you can then apply to buy it at any point. So if you say you rent it for a week and you're like, I just want to buy it, then you basically just buy it outright and you just pay like full price. But if you rent it for like 6 months, it's a bit cheaper, but it's not $900 cheaper. You might save a couple $100, so you're still paying more by renting it and buying it than you would be just by buying it. So although this seems cheaper than let's see, let's go for the same. We'll go this one because it's the same price, because this is the non-handle version. Actually, no, we will do the handle because that's actually closer to the same price. So this is $41 a week, so it's actually more expensive to rent from Ted's than it is, and it's also more expensive to buy it for some reason. Usually Ted's is cheaper. So $34.39 a week, and then actually, if I go into the rent, learn more. What do I go apply now? No, this is just the actual. I want to see this thing, this one in particular. Is this going to take me to an actual? Alright, so where are you get? Oh, monthly. Okay, so it's $179 a month. But if you say it doesn't say it's at 6 months though, which is annoying because 6 months is like the most reasonable one. You either return it or you buy it. Like that makes sense, right? Whereas, so if you have to have it for a year, which you would have spent $1,800 or more than that actually, because Ted's is a bit more expensive. Wait, actually, hold on, what's that? So it's 41 a week. Oh, anyway, we can go 179 times 12. So you've paid $2,100 to rent that for a year, which is a third of the price of the whole thing. Oh, 2/3 of the price of the whole thing. So you've paid 2/3 of it, but then you could buy it for $2,900, which is over. It's like 3/4 of the whole price. So you'd end up almost doubling what you'd pay if you rent it for a year then buy it. So it's like if you rent it for a month, you get like how many dollars off is that? It was like $40 off or something. What was it? $35.99.95. And then this is $35.64. Yeah, so what's that? Maths. $35. They take off 1%. Wait, do they take off 1% per month? Is that actually how that works? Why is it? Oh, it's more because now it thinks there's two of them. Hold on. There you go. Okay, so does that work out to 1% per month? So let's say what, 36 months. So that what am I trying to figure out? Whether it's 1% a month or not. So it was $34 less if you. Okay. at 12 months, so 12 times 34, is 408. Okay, so it's more than 1% per month. It might actually be exactly 1% per month, because it's not exactly 34. Because that's actually, technically, it's 30... No, it would be $35.99, actually. Anyway, this is not important. But my point was, renting at least this way, unless you're going to rent it for like, because there is ways that you can rent it for like a week or a weekend or something like that for like, you know, a couple $100. It's more expensive than this. It's way more than $40 a week if you're going to like do short-term rent. But like this way of renting it, for at least for cameras and stuff, does not seem worth it. Because what was 179 times 6? 179 times 6. So if you ran it for 6 months, you'd still be out $1,000. $1,000 to have it for 6 months, and then you can return it. And again, this is a camera, so I feel like you're more likely to rent a lens than you are a camera. And like I was even thinking of when I was actually thinking of renting this lens for 6 months. And I was like, I could just rent it for 6 months. It would cost like $300 or $400. I would have it for 6 months, and then I would just give it back. And then it's like I don't have to worry about trying to sell it or still having it or anything like that. And then I could just be like, oh, maybe I'll rent my next one, something like that. And then I could still kind of save as I go, because I'm not spending like as much on rent as it would be to buy things. So you could still like save up and rent at the same time. But I ended up just buying this outright because it was on a pretty good special. And, you know, renting just feels weird. I don't know. Anyway, should I play some games? I don't know. I was thinking about doing some game. Oh, I was talking about... I gotta figure out a video for tomorrow. That's what I was doing. What video should I do tomorrow? So we've got... I haven't written anything for that. Oh yeah. Notion now has essentially ChatGPT. I don't know if it's the exact same thing, but it has this AI writing thing. So you can just have it write stuff for you, or have it summarize stuff for you, and all that sort of jazz that the new AI bots are doing. So I actually they came up with a test thing, and this is what it wrote. I think I just like it came up with suggestions to do, and be like, write a social media post. So I was just like, write a social media post about cameras, and it said, cameras are amazing! Exclamation mark. Cameras are one of the most incredible inventions of our time. From capturing memories to creating art, cameras have changed the way we see the world. Whether you're a professional photographer or just love snapping pictures with your phone, there's no denying the power of a good camera. Share your favorite camera moment in the comments below! Exclamation mark. Tags. Photography, cameras, memories. And like... Sure? But then that's not, like, to be fair, I was not specific at all in the prompt. It was just like, I literally just said cameras. It just like do a social media post about cameras, and that was it. So, I mean, you could probably be way more specific and write something better. Yeah, what's something we could what could we do? Continue. Let's go. Continue writing. If you write another paragraph. Ready for this? Ready? For me, oh, okay. For me, one of my favorite camera moments was when I captured a beautiful sunset over the ocean during a trip to Hawaii. The colors were so vibrant and stunning, and the picture still takes my breath away every time I look at it. It's amazing how a single photo can transport you back to a special moment in time. Like, you're just making stuff up at this point. Alright, continue writing. Write another paragraph. This is gonna be a long post. What? Okay, now it's just talking to itself. That sounds amazing. I completely agree. Cameras have the power to capture memories and moments that we can cherish forever. Recently, I've been experimenting with film photography, and it's been such a unique and rewarding experience. There's something special about the process of taking a photo on film, waiting for it to be developed, and then seeing the final result. It's a slower, more intentional way of taking pictures that I've really come to appreciate. Make longer. Continue writing, make longer. Let's make it longer. Oh, it's gonna Oh. There you go. Alright, we could obviously give it something way more specific. So, let's just, I don't know, these cameras are all over the place. Lenses and whatever. Lenses can go over there, camera can stay here, that's fine. And let's just have this weird feeling that something's not sounding right. But no, everything seems fine. Yeah. I think. I can't tell. Is that what my voice sounds like? Is this what my voice sounds like? I can't tell. Hold on. Let I would turn those off. What does it sound like now? And does this, like, is this sound any different? I don't know. It sounds okay, I think. It's hard to tell. Oh, so I should get rid of that. Hide that. Alright, so let's stop listening to myself. Delete all this. Delete that. Not really. I can't make it write a title for me. It wrote the title for me last time. Anyway. Brainstorm ideas, blog post. Yeah, so I just went like here. Social media post. Creative story, essay, poem, to-do list, meeting agenda, pros and cons list, job description, recruiting email. Pros and cons list about the Sony FX that we'll go for 30. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if AI can make a decision for us. Alright, pros. Excellent image quality with 4K resolution and high dynamic range. Sure. Compact and lightweight design makes it easy to transport and handle. Features built-in image stabilization for steady shots without tripod. Okay, yeah, this is all just like generic stuff. Offers a variety of lens options. Yeah, whatever. Professional level manual controls for customization. Okay, that's true. The rest of this is true, but like very standard. It's not actual pros of the FX30. That's just pros of, you know, any modern camera. Alright. Cons. Expensive compared to other consumer level cameras. I mean, yeah, but it's not a consumer level camera. It's like a entry level professional camera. That's kind of the point. So yes, it's, yeah, you know, a $3,000 camera is more expensive than a $1,000 camera. But it's also got way more features, and it's basically an FX3, which is a cinema camera, but just with a small sensor. Limited battery life, may require frequent swapping or charging. But these batteries have decent, like, battery life. The FZ100 batteries are pretty decent. Plus, you can just plug it in USB and it's fine. So I don't know how much a con that is. No built-in ND filter, which may be inconvenient in bright outdoor settings. True. Built-in NDs would be great in, and I said this in my FX4 video, my dream camera video. Built-in NDs would be ideal. Limited recording time due to overheating issues. Well, that's just not true at all. Where are you getting your information? This is straight up not true. The FX30 has a built-in fan, and like even the A7 III, which is the same sensor and most of the, and like entirely the same internals, no one's ever complained about overheating issues on that. So this is that, but better because that also has a fan. So 100% not true. Pre-writing fixed spelling, make sure to make longer change tone, simplify language. Explain this? Okay. It's still wrong though. You're wrong. But this camera has a built-in fan. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. It's true that some cameras have built-in fans to help you overheating it. However, even with built-in fan, overheating can still occur in certain conditions. It's possible that the camera that you're referring to may also have a limited recording time due to the risk of No. Oh wait, sorry, I was talking about the FX3 before, when I said it was the same as the A7S3. But still, same, like, I don't think the FX30 has any issues with overheating. It has built-in fan, it's fine. AI responses can be inaccurate or misleading. Let's discard that. Alright, autofocus performance may not be as reliable as other... Well, that's just not true either. These last two cons should be opposite and they should be pros. Because it's not going to overheat because it does have that fan. And has good heat dissipation system in general. And it has Sony's autofocus system, like... Don't lie to me. I wonder if there's a way to just check like where they got this AI from, because it seems very ChatGPT like based on what I know about that system. Alright, let's continue writing. What's it gonna keep writing? No option for headphone jack. Wrong. It has two options for headphone jack. You plug it directly into the body, or you can plug it into the audio handle. I think, wait, actually, hold on. Does the audio handle have... Let's go to new one, and we'll go here. I don't know why I did that. Sony FX30. We'll go to Sony's website. They should have a thing about the audio handle. So I just want to see if there's some way, because I know you can plug in two XLR mics and a 3.5 mil. What am I doing? I just want to see about the audio handle. What, you're not gonna... Really? Not even gonna do anything? Okay, we'll go FX3, see if it says it. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll go to the K3M. So, no ports on this side, it looks like. So, all the ports are on the other side. Use slideshow. Right. They're not going to open the doors on the side. The I/O doors. Alright, yeah, can I zoom? So, anyway, first... Audio... Mic jack should be there. Headphone jack should be there. I think. But... Here... Input, input, input. There's... Oh, hello. Oops. Damn it. Wait, let's see if it has a thing about the handle. Yeah, so mic, headphone there, so wrong about that. It does have built-in. Like, this is the FX3, but the FX30 is the same. It's the same body. I also never noticed that it has that dial there. It makes sense, but I never realized it was, like, embedded in the back of the camera. Okay, that doesn't help. Tally lights are great. See, this is something that should be in the pros in that list. It's the tally lights. And, you know, this whole thing. I know it's read 4K 60, but it can do 4K 120. Okay, okay. Input. Can I zoom in on this? Oh, it actually might say it. In addition to cameras with a variety of built-in microphone, full-size XLR connectors on the handle, digital audio via multi-innovative shoe, 3 recording formats can be selected. Doesn't even say how many inputs there are. what the inputs are. Can it? Don't do that. I just did that. Roll scroll? Yeah, okay, that's okay. Ooh. So input 3 looks like there might be 2 ports there. So there might be a mic port and a headphone port there, because that's a little flap that opens up. Let's go Sony XLR A3M, because it's the same thing, just without the handle. Let's go to Sony's website again. Also, it's weird that you can't buy... Okay, let's zoom back out. It's weird that you can't buy the K3M without a mic. Like, it has to come with the mic, but it's so expensive. Like, why couldn't you just not sell it with the mic and make it a couple $100 cheaper? Aha. So it doesn't have a headphone port. Interesting. So it's got the 2 XLR ports. And then a mic port here. No headphone. Interesting. So, I mean, the headphone jack on the side of the camera would still work. So it'd be like here. Can you see that? Can you see that with the light? So the red one is the mic jack, and then directly below it, you can kind of see. Oh, that's better lighting. Right, where are we? Right there, above my finger, is the headphone jack. So you could probably, like, because it's connected to the multi-interface shoe on the top, and it's going directly into the camera, you would still be able to use the headphone jack on the side of the camera, I'm sure. But yeah, I kind of expected there to be a headphone jack on the handle itself, or on the interface itself. 2 XLR / TRX combo jacks and 1 3.5 stereo mini microphone jack are provided for input. XLR combo jacks are switchable for line input, microphone input, or microphone input with 48-volt phantom power. Nice. Anyway, we were continue. I'll give it one more con. No option for, okay, that's also false. No option for the internal 10-bit recording. False. Let's make it write another Pro. What? No, I want you to write another Pro. Is he gonna write another con? Oh, it's just gonna copy. What? Huh? Alright, okay, well, yeah. Alright, let's go. Brainstorm ideas on. No, not brainstorm ideas. Creative story, essay, to-do list, job description, recruiting email. Kind of like the pros and cons list, although it's like, it's going to come up with a bunch of things that are straight up wrong. Sony FX6 cinema camera. Actually, there's another question I want to ask it. Okay, 4K resolution, 15 plus stops of dynamic range. Okay, so it knows how much dynamic range. Built-in NDs. Yup. Dual base ISO. Yup. Didn't mention that with the others, with the FX30. Compatible with various lenses, including E mount or PL mount adapter. I mean, I guess, yeah. Like, that's what the point of adapters. You can adapt any lens. So yes, you can get PL lenses if you have PL adapter. But it's E mount. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Lightweight and compact design. Yeah, I mean, for a cinema camera, yes, it is. It's like this big, and people like all these are like in like almost every unboxing I've seen. It's just like, oh, it's lighter than I expected. Anyway, expensive compared to other cameras in its class. Is it though? What other cameras are in its class? The Canon C70. That's like it, right? Maybe there's a Blackmagic that's at a similar level as well. So I feel like this, like the 4K and the 6K Pro are not. I guess maybe no, because they're way cheaper though. The Pocket Cinema cameras. I don't know if they'd be in the same class. I don't think they would be. Limited internal recording obviously requires external recorder for raw footage. I mean, that's true, but that's a patent thing. I heard that no camera companies can have raw internal recording because Red has a patent on it. So Red patented internal raw recording, so no other companies can do it unless they want to pay Red, and nobody wants to do it, so they're like, no. But apparently there's a lawsuit coming up about that. Like, I think it was Nikon. I think it was Nikon is going to court with Red to try and like make it so the patent, or like argue that the patent is not fair, I guess. So then other companies can just use raw recording because nobody else can do it internally because Red has this patent. That's what I heard, at least. I'll close this when it pops up. Okay, you shouldn't be taking that long to pop up. There we go. No built-in XLR inputs for audio recording requires additional adapter. Yes, but it comes with the adapter. Like it's just that handle. It comes with an XLR handle. So yes, that's a good point. And there's not even a 3.5mm jack on it. So that's actually one. Honestly, this con should be no on-body audio jacks at all, like total inputs. There's no audio inputs on the body itself. You need to have any audio input, so you can have 3.5 XLR or 3.5mm or XLR only with the handle attached. If you have a different handle, or you don't want to run the handle, like if you're running a gimbal or something, you just can't have audio because the body just doesn't have any audio inputs, which is kind of dumb. I feel like they should have just put a 3.5mm jack on, just like they have with mirrorless cameras. So I feel like it wouldn't have been that big of an issue, because if they decided to go full-size XLR on the handle, great, all for that. Why not just put a 3.5mm jack on the camera itself, so then you could at least run some other sort of mic, or maybe a wireless mic or something, without having to have the handle on top. I think it's mostly for like if you want to run a different top handle, or if you're running a gimbal. So you better hope you don't need audio for those situations, or do audio completely external and just use the scratch audio from the built-in mic. No autofocus feature. Manual focus can be challenging for some users. False. FX6 does have autofocus, so that's a lie. Battery life is relatively short, may require multiple batteries for extended shoots. I mean, that's probably fair. The majority of people that would use a V-mount battery anyway. But I'm pretty sure the battery, like I've heard that the battery that it comes with is like beefy battery. It's like $600. It's like probably triple the size of the batteries for this camera, if not bigger. Like it's a big battery, and apparently like it can handle recording for like 3 hours, which is not relatively short considering the size of the battery compared to the size of the camera and what it's doing. But again, that being said, V-mount battery. Okay, so that's the FX6. I wanted to ask pros and cons list about cinema lenses. Okay. Cinema lenses are designed specifically for video production, providing superior image quality and color accuracy. I mean, to a degree. They are designed specifically for video production, that's true. The image quality and color accuracy? Not necessarily. Like, one of the big things with cinema lenses is they have character. Like, they have more character than a lot of photo lenses do. So it's not necessarily more accurate. And like cheaper lenses or like vintage lenses and stuff, still cinema lenses maybe not have the best image quality. Anyway, they typically have a wide aperture range, allowing more control over depth of field and low light shooting. Fair, yeah. A lot of primes go to like T1 point something. 1.05 actually is not uncommon, but there's a lot of like T1.5, T1.9, T2.9, T2.1, T2.2, stuff like that. So that's fair enough. Cinema lenses have a smooth, precise focus and zoom control, make them ideal for capturing moving subjects. That's true. That's one thing that, like, that's one of the reasons why I want cinema lenses. Because, like, I want to do cinema lenses, but I want to do manual focus and stuff, and, like, I really liked, I heard this thing not too long ago, that it's like, autofocus can't tell a story. Manual focus can. But manual focusing with these lenses in video, it's just not that good. Let alone, like, not only because the focus are kind of not that good, but it's also, you know, their focus throw is really short, and, like, it's just not that accurate, and they're not linear, and just, like, cinema lenses are built for that, so they're way better at it. What is that? Beeping. Something's beeping. I don't know what it is. They're built with durable materials and are able to withstand the demands of professional use. Yeah, sure, I guess. Cinema lenses often have interchangeable mounts, making them versatile for use with different camera systems. That is also true, I'm pretty sure. Cons. More expensive than traditional photography lenses. True. They're very expensive. They can be heavier and bulkier, requiring additional support stabilization equipment. Also true. Aperture and focus controls are often manual, which can be challenging for beginners. True. That's like almost a universal thing. Like, you don't get many autofocus cinema lenses. Cinema lenses may have a limited zoom range compared to traditional photography lenses. Also true. I was looking at so Dezio Film have these. They're called the what are they? Kata primes? Zooms, sorry, Kata zooms. Dezio Film. Yeah, the Kata zooms. They have a 35 to 80, a 70 to 135, and then they get 12 to 20 something or something like that. Because there's this one. This one was like, oh, looking at it, like it's $7,000, but it's a 35 to 80 and a 70 to 135 T2.9 E mount, so native Sony mount at least. So not native lenses, but no, you don't need an adapter for it. But then they also have bayonet, which I'm pretty sure is an adapter to a different mount. So that's also kind of cool, I guess. And, you know, they would come in this case and everything like that. So it's like, okay, professional work, 35 to 80 and a 70 to 135. Also, these ones look really cool. The white zooms, they look really cool. I like the look of them. Not that that should be a big deciding factor, but it's true. And yeah, they're full frame, T2.9, 35 to 80, I think would be quite a good range too. And then, of course, 70 to 135, we like that telephoto zoom. But then, what's the other one? How to zoom, what's the other one? 35, so there is another one. Do they not have it at this shop? They seem to only have the longer ones. They don't have the, there's another one. I was on the Dezio website before and they have one more. It's wider. It's like I think it's something to 24. Like 15 to 24, 18 to 20, no, 18 to 35, 18 to 30. Something along those lines. It was like I'm pretty sure it was 18 to 35 maybe. Something around there. But yeah, generally they'll have like this 24 to 70, and that one was 35 to 80, which is like close, but it's also harder to go wider, I think. So I don't know. They may require additional maintenance and calibration to ensure optimal performance. That's a fair point. Oh, go away. Anything? What else should I ask it? Should I just ask it to write anything? Should I get the Sony 50mm 1.2 GM or the Sony 50mm 1.4 GM? Question mark. We'll add a capital just because why not? Alright, let's see what it says. Okay, we're gonna make a nice. Alright, okay. They wrote us a little essay. If you're on the market for a new Sony lens, you may be wondering whether to go for the Sony 50mm. While both lenses have their pros and cons, ultimately the decision will come down to individual needs and preferences. What a surprise. Alright, the 1.2. High-end lens with a large aperture of f1.2. This makes an excellent choice for low-light photography and creating a shallow depth of field. So honestly, like the 1.2, like you could use that at night. Use that at night, your ISO would maybe have to go to 12,800, but like maybe even not. And you could still see stuff. So that like f1.2, if you're trying to do low light stuff, could be really helpful. Although it would be kind of annoying, you would like have to use an ND filter even in like normal lighting to just shoot at f1.2 if you want to have a decent shutter angle. This makes an excellent choice for I already said that. Creating shallow depth of field. The lens is well built and weather sealed, making it durable and able to withstand various shooting conditions. However, the lens is quite heavy and expensive, and the autofocus can be slow and noisy. Hello? Not true. It has 4 of those, whatever the motors are called, but it's got quad motors. The 1.4 has 2 motors. And this is well known to have a really good and quiet autofocus, so yeah. Lies. The 1.4 is a more affordable option compared to the 1.2. It has a slightly smaller maximum aperture, 1.4. It still performs well in low light conditions and is capable of producing a pleasing bokeh effect. I still say bokeh instead of bokeh, which I'm pretty sure it is bokeh, but it feels weird. I read it as bokeh, even though I know it's bokeh. Anyway, the lens is also smaller and lighter than the 1.2 GM, making it more portable for everyday use. However, this lens is not weather sealed and may not be as durable. It's not weather sealed. It's a G Master lens. Yes, it is. Conclusion. Ultimately, the decision between the 1.2 and 1.4 will depend on your individual needs and preferences. If you need the absolute best low light performance and don't mind paying a premium price, 1.2 may be a better choice. However, if you're on a budget or need more portable lens, the f1.4 is an excellent option. Like, even though they got some things wrong, that conclusion is like, yeah. That conclusion is pretty much the difference. It's, if you want just the absolute best, get the 1.2. If you prefer or you need it to be lighter and smaller, get the 1.4 or a different lens. But if you want a 50, then the 50 1.4. Or if you want it to match you, if you have the 24 and the 35 G Master, get the 50 because it's almost the same size and weight. Whereas the 1.2 was like significantly bigger and heavier. They'll both do great in like low light, but that 1.2 is just an extra third of a stop. Brighter, wider, so you get even more of a shallow depth of field. Although 1.4 you can get shallow depth of field anyway. But then it's like, and then the thing about price, right? At least in Australia, there's only a $400 difference, and at that price, like it's like 2,400 versus 2,800. You're spending that much money anyway. And if the size and weight isn't really an issue, why not just spend the extra $400 and get the 1.2? Right? If size and weight are an issue, absolutely get the 1.4. But like, there's not a big enough difference at that price range. If it was cheaper and it was a $400 difference, yes, that would probably make a difference. That would probably matter. Or if there was a bigger difference, like if it was $600, $700, $800. For example, if it was 2,800 and 2,000, then it'd be like, oh, okay, that's almost $1,000. Big difference. But considering in Australia at least, it's only a $400 difference. It's like, I don't know. Also, I think the 1.2 looks cooler. I even wrote Sony 50mm 1.2 GM versus Sony 50mm 1.4 GM. I should make it. Oh, what should I make a YouTube video about? Alright, I need. Can I? Hello? What is going on? Maybe I should do a video on getting AI to write a video. And maybe I could have just done that 1.4 versus 1.2, having not used either of them. What should I make a YouTube video about? In the realm of video cameras? Question mark. Okay. If you're interested in creating a YouTube channel about video cameras, here are the main topics. Reviews. Focus on different brands and models. Yeah, sure. Yeah, reviews are hard because you need to get the products. So, unless you're going to buy all the products or get them sent to you. Kind of hard to do. Tutorials. How to use different cameras or how to achieve certain effects. For example, you can create a tutorial on how to shoot time-lapse footage, how to get shallow depth of field. Hey, I did that. How to get shallow depth of field. I've made a whole video about that. Well, a short. I made a short about that. Make sure to use clear, concise language and provide plenty of examples. Good advice. Behind the scenes. Another interesting topic would be behind the scenes. Look at how different videos are made. You could interview filmmakers or videographers and ask them about their techniques and equipment. This could be particularly interesting if you focus on one particular genre, such as music videos or documentaries. See, this I like. I've started doing a little bit of behind the scenes stuff of myself, but that's one of the big things that I've noticed is it's hard to film the scenes and the behind the scenes at the same time and be focusing on both, because you can't focus on both. If you're focusing on getting the actual shots, then either, like basically how the last video worked is either I would just set the camera up and just have it film whatever we were doing, and then either just focus on it and then like maybe talk to the camera a bit, otherwise I'd just focus on what I'm doing, or have somebody else hold the camera and then they sort of have to follow you around. And unless you have an actual behind the scenes like person there with you to do it, it's hard, because I was the one doing it, and it's difficult. Maybe I can make a video on that. Make a video about behind the scenes videos and how they're hard to film by yourself, but how I'm trying to get better at it. I just need someone to follow me around all the time. Also, I have this idea for a skit that I might make at some point as well. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. Alright, gear and accessories. Finally, you can create a video about different kinds of gear and accessories that are useful for videographers. This could include tripods, microphones, lighting equipment, and more. Make sure to explain why each piece of gear is important and provide examples on how it can be used. A few ideas to get you started. The key to a successful YouTube channel is find a niche that you're passionate about and create content that's both informative and engaging. Good luck. Wow. Thanks, Notion AI. Alright, write a video script. Write a YouTube video script about what should I make a video about? Shooting behind the scenes videos. Alright, we're gonna hold on. If this is the next video, maybe I don't know, if I like, I'll read the script if I like it, and maybe I'll clip this and this can go in the video. I don't know. Are you interested in creating behind the scenes videos? Maybe you're a filmmaker looking to give your audience an inside look at the creative process. Or perhaps you're a content creator who wants to give your viewers a glimpse of what goes into making your videos. Whatever your reason, shooting behind the scenes footage can be a fun and informative way to engage your audience In this video, we'll share some tips for shooting great behind the scenes footage. Intro, blah blah blah, do the thing, blah, whatever. Cool intro with moving shots and graphics and stuff. Tip 1. Plan ahead. Before you start shooting, it's important to have a plan. Yeah, that's definitely important. I didn't do that enough last week. It's important to have a plan. Think about what you want to show your audience and how you want to show it. Consider the location, the lighting, and the angles you want to use. Make a shot list and think about the sequences of shots that you'll need to tell your story. That's just for anything. Like, that's just the videography in general. That's not necessarily behind the scenes in particular, but, you know, whatever. When shooting behind the scenes footage, it's important to use a variety of shots to keep your audience engaged. Use close-ups to show details, medium shots to give context, and wide shots to establish the setting. Don't be afraid to experiment with different camera angles and movements to add visual interest. Again, same for all videography. Not all video, most videography. Tip 3. Get permission. If you're shooting behind the scenes footage of a film or television production, you need to get permission from the producers and the crew. Make sure you understand any restrictions on what you can and can't shoot, be respectful of the crew's space and time, and don't interfere with their work. That's fair. Tip number 4. Be flexible. Things don't always go as planned when shooting behind the scenes footage. Be prepared to adapt to changing circumstances and think on your feet. If you're shooting in a location with unexpected lighting or sound issues, think creatively about how you can use those challenges to your advantage. I was so focused on how I was reading that I didn't actually take it into account when I read it. So, like, I don't know what I just read. Shooting in a location with unexpected lighting and sound, think creatively how you can use this challenge to your advantage. Okay, yeah, fair. Tip 5. Edit carefully. Once you've shot your footage, it's time to edit it into a compelling behind-the-scenes video. Be selective about the footage you include and make sure it tells a cohesive story. Use music and sound effects to enhance the mood and pacing of your video. And don't forget to add captions or voiceover narration to give context and information to your viewers. The captions for, like, times and, like, days or locations and stuff like that, really helpful in behind the scenes stuff. Like, I really liked Danny Gevirtz's behind the scenes series when he was shooting his feature film last year. I watched that recently. Like, it was like a 4 or 5 part series where they were, like, you know, 30 minutes each sort of thing. I really enjoyed it. Like, I really liked the behind the scenes of shooting the behind the scenes of shooting a feature film, but edited by like directed by and like an actual videographer, cinematographer, whatever, and edited by him as well, who makes videos about cameras and whatnot. So it wasn't just like it's very different to the behind the scenes of, for example, like the Marvel assembled behind the scenes specials, I guess you'd call them. They're like an hour long, and it's like behind the scenes, like the making of movie, making of this show, making of this movie. And those are great. I love watching those, but they don't have as much like the technical camera stuff and lighting stuff. It's more about story and characters and, you know, production as a whole and stuff like that. There's a big story behind the behind the scenes thing, so it's like a whole thing. But I really like Danny Gevirtz's one because it's like, all right, we're using this camera. This DP, we had to part ways, but we had to get this other DP and stuff. And they were talking about, you know, the roles of all the different people, and, you know, what lenses they were using, what cameras they were using, and what lighting they were using, and like the actual, and of course the story and the actors and stuff like that. They were a big part of it. But yeah, I really enjoyed that series. Really got me into behind the scenes stuff. Like myself, like shooting it myself. Like that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the behind the scenes video. This last video is behind the scenes video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's shooting a camera commercial behind the scenes, and it's not the best video I've ever done. I want to get better at that style of video, but yeah, I like shooting behind the scenes stuff. I would like to shoot behind the scenes stuff of like where I'm the behind the scenes videographer making behind the scenes video about this other production that I'm not a part of, because that'd be cool. But I don't know. Anyway, finishing up, shooting behind the sines footage can be, oh, my nose itching crazy. Shooting behind the scenes footage can be a fun and rewarding way to engage with the audience. By following these tips, you'll be able to create compelling and informative behind the scenes videos that your viewers will love. Thanks for watching and happy shooting. What, how long, wait, can I ask it a question? If I highlight it all. Ask AI. Wait, what if I... I want to see how long would that take to read if I was just reading it. Honestly, I could take this structure and just like add in my little personal anecdotes and stuff. And then I could also be like, I could clickbait the video and be like, hey, I wrote this script. This video was written by AI. Because it's such a... Honestly, a title like that would actually probably get a video a fair amount of views. I'm tempted to do it. Maybe... But the thing is, I would need examples. Like while I'm... Let's say I just read this script, and it's basically like a voiceover. I would need enough B-roll, which would just be the behind the scenes footage from the last shoot, or I shoot specifically to make it look like I'm shooting behind the scenes when I'm not actually. I would need to have enough good footage that I put in basically as B-roll for each of these points. And honestly, I could probably like, almost with the video, I could probably like tell a story almost. Where like, you know, the plan ahead, because I didn't do all that much planning ahead, I could like, you know, get some B-roll of myself, writing notes on Notion, or writing stuff down in a notebook or something like that. I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna keep this. I might use it tomorrow. Maybe I'll just like film a bunch of B-roll tomorrow, and then tomorrow night when hopefully it's quiet, because I don't usually do much filming during the day anymore because this card is really loud. Although I haven't noticed in a while, so because I haven't tried filming during the day here in a while. Last few have been on location, so I know. But we'll see. I'll keep this in mind. Let's make a new one. Add a page. Start writing with AI. Brainstorm ideas on videos about videography. Videos about videography. Let's see what it says. Alright, okay, so it's, yeah. How to shoot cinematic footage using a smartphone. That's been done plenty of times. The art of framing and composition videography. Could be cool. I don't know enough about that to really talk about it. So, tips and tricks for shooting in low light conditions. That could be a short. The role of music and sound design in video production. Again, not good enough at that to tell much about it. The importance of storytelling in video. Also, not the best at it yet. How to create smooth camera movement using gimbals. Don't have a gimbal. I could do how to create smooth camera movements without using a gimbal. Heads up, it's hard. I tried filming a video yesterday at work using just my top handle. So I had my top handle. I was like camera like this, top handle in here. It was hard. Like I put on stabilization and it still just doesn't look great. So yeah, it was really hard to make it smooth with just that. So like a gimbal would be ideal. Exploring different camera angles and perspectives. Okay. The use of color grading to enhance visual appeal of videos. Again, not the best color grading. Beginner's guide to video editing software and techniques. I have thought about doing that before, like beginner, like video editing basics. because I don't know if anyone's seen the camera basics video from ages ago. It was camera basics from a beginner. Camera basics for beginners from a beginner, by a beginner, or whatever. So it's when I just like recently got into cameras and started learning a bit about it. I was like, okay, I'm sort of knowing how things work. And made a video on basics, and I planned to do a whole series on basics. And like I was gonna put more effort into this series and stuff, so I took more time to film and edit it. It was like a 20-minute video. And I was gonna make it a whole series. I was gonna do streaming basics, I was gonna do editing basics, I was gonna do audio basics, and I just didn't do any of them apart from the camera one initially. I did do a how to use a real camera for streaming, which like was a big chunk of the streaming basics one. But yeah, I still haven't done any of those other basics videos, so maybe I could do an editing one. I don't really want to though, because then I would need I much prefer shooting over editing. Like editing's fine, but shooting's way more interesting and way more fun. The do's and don'ts of shooting professional grade videos. Ah yes, because I would know the best of that. Continue writing. Give me more. Continue writing. Just keep writing. Keep adding. Thanks for the suggestion. Could you also include some tips on how to... Why is it responding to itself? Thanks for the suggestion. Could you also include some tips on how to choose the right camera for videography? I'm new to this and not sure what features to look for. Oh, well, AI. Make longer. Sure, I'd be happy to help with it when choosing camera. So now I'm just making it answer its own question. A higher frame rate will result in smoother, more fluid motion in your videos. You're not wrong. However, higher frame rate does not mean better. There's a reason that 24 frames per second is used almost universally, apart from all the PAL countries, which is most of them, where we use 25. But there's a reason that we use that sort of frame rate. Maybe I could make a video on judging ChatGPT's recommendations for camera stuff and be like, that's not true, stuff like that. Another important factor to consider is camera sensor size, but generally speaking, larger sensors can capture more light, resulting in better low light performance and shallow depth of field. True. With image stabilization, audio capabilities that built the microphone, or we need to use an external one, can it record high quality audio, we need to invest in additional equipment for that. Yeah, cool. Alright. That was also accidental. You just answered your questions. What if I... continue writing? Oh, really? Why do I have $15 credit? Huh? Wait, so can I just not use it anymore? Let's see. Start with AI. Brainstorm ideas. All free AI responses have been used for this workspace. Ah, I didn't realize there was a limited number. Now I just can't use any AI. Okay, well that sucks. Bruh. That sucks. I mean, I get it. Like, they want to make money. AI video ideas. I'm gonna just leave it there so it exists. And it's there. I'm gonna put that there. Maybe I'll do something with this. Maybe I'll have another look at it tomorrow. And obviously I'd make some changes, but I could do it. this one could do. I was thinking of doing a, like, cause I did a shallow depth of field video, short. So I was thinking I could do a shutter speed one, or maybe like a motion blur one. Because like you wouldn't want to make a shot on like everything, like unless you're like, alright, here's the exposure triangle, this is what this does, this is what this does, this is what this does, and that's it. You don't want to make it too long. So like if I was gonna make a shutter speed one, I could make a shutter speed one and be like, shutter speed effects, two things, you know, the light and the motion blur, and then like if you have really low shutter speed, slow shutter speed, everything will be really blurry. If you have really high shutter speed, there'll be no blur and things will look weird. I can do that. And I could explain shutter angle. I'm gonna put that in my notes actually. Yeah, this the BTS skit. I want to do that. That was that one too that I wanted to do. Oh, and then I want to do another one on as well. What was it again? Shutter speed. I mean, I could just do exposure triangle as a whole, but for now we'll just leave it at shutter speed. Um, 20mm lens. Let's say I made that. Let's say a dropping lens. Yeah, let's go with that. I didn't do a lens on like explaining or unboxing that lens, but see, I still like I made this shot, like the camera bag, packing my camera bag shot, but I didn't like it. Maybe I'll edit it a bit more and it'll be like even quicker if I ever feel like I'll be like, oh, I want to make a video, but I don't have time to film it, or I don't want to film it. Maybe I'll go back to that one and just be like, all right, quickly just do the thing. I tried to film a mantis pod short as well, just like doing all the things that you could do with it. My PGY Tech mantis pod, and I just couldn't really make anything good out of it, so I didn't do anything. Transition video I want to do. There's this FPV lens change that I wanted to do. Like I had the idea ages ago when I first got my cage. That's just like a sound one. I think I saved a sound. Did I save that sound? I don't know. And then this was a skit that I was gonna do. Yeah, cool. Anyway, I might just call it there. I don't think I'm gonna play any games tonight. What am I doing? Might just end it here. Nobody's here anyway. Barely anyone watched this stream, so. I also probably, that's the most annoying thing about these YouTube streams is when you start it, if you want to change the thumbnail, you have to have something to change it to. You can't just delete the thumbnail so then it does the auto one. Because like if you create a fully new stream from scratch, then it would just like create a new thumbnail. Like just create a thumbnail for you from just like it'll just be a screen grab from the stream itself. But that's just like a little bit of an extra step. I didn't end up doing that. So the thumbnail for this stream is my normal Warzone one. But if I'm not playing Warzone, it's probably not the best thumbnail to have. So I probably should have just gone through the extra step, like taken the extra like minute that it might have taken to like make a new one. Or like you just go reuse details or something like that. And it would have been fine. But I was lazy, so I was like, it should be right. Yeah. Anyway, end it there. If you are watching this in the future, thank you for watching. Go watch some other videos. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.